Prince William and Princess Catherine followed in the footsteps of the King and Queen and celebrated their 14th wedding anniversary by spending the day at work. The Waleses were in the Hebrides for 2 days, and this trip was also the first time Catherine has stayed and done a visit overnight since her cancer diagnosis. And Russ, thank you for taking one for the team.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Well,
you accompanied them.
I may have been saying something different if it was pouring down with rain, but, I mean...
Oh, it was glorious, wasn't it?
Absolutely glorious part of the world. I'd never been to the Inner Hebrides before, but you just saw it was sort of landscape after landscape, absolutely glorious. And, of course, William and Kate had been there before. They'd visited 20 years ago. I was having a chat with an old couple who used to run one of the cottages that you see behind us, the little red one, and William came in and asked to use a computer to check his exam results in his second year at university.
They were there in their student years, in the early stages of their romance.
Yes.
They went away with friends,
yep.
hired a house, which was, once word got out that he was there with a potential partner,
Yep.
I mean, one local recited jumping up and down on a trampoline trying to see into their rental.
Yeah, he did, and they were asking him, so what did you remember from here? And he said, oh, I may have had a few ciders during that weekend, so I can't really remember much. But, you know, what we were seeing here is there was a lot of PDA, actually. I mean, you don't normally see that from the royals.
Shall I translate? That's public displays.
Which we do not normally expect from members of the royal family.
Seeing
but
it more and more from this pair now,
think so,
we?
You know, and they were having a great time. And Kate was exuberantly speaking about her new hobby.
Which is?
Beekeeping. So she's now keeping bees at Admiral Hall, at the Sandringham Estate.
Meghan does it too? They do.
Well, it's all the rage, apparently, and so does David Beckham.
David Beckham, King Charles.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel so left out.
Oh, yeah. If you're not keeping bees, you're no one these days. But she was having a great chat with this lady who was an independent beekeeper, she said.
Well, I guess listen, she works a lot in the charity sector around conservation, and she's got the land for it.
Well, and what have we seen over the last few months talking about nature, how they have absolutely immersed themselves, not only Kate, but the whole family immersed themselves in nature. That has been a great healer for them. And she also said she got a chainsaw for Christmas. I mean, what do you get the woman that has everything?
A chainsaw.
A chainsaw. Now we know.
Listen, if you take pride in your hedges, as I'm sure she does,
she does.
I speak as one. I get it.
Well,
there's nothing quite like a Sunday afternoon with a chainsaw. Also, a lovely moment with a holiday maker who was there, James Thornton, who came in and well, what did he say to
Well, he just said, you know, from one cancer survivor to another. And it was a really sweet moment, actually. What was interesting about this trip, you know, when we ever travel around the country, around the world with the royals, the public are normally kept behind metal barriers. There was no such thing on this little mini tour, I suppose, because there's less than 3,000 people on the Isle of Mull. People were just milling around, coming in and out of shops, going up to them, and everybody seemed very relaxed, from Prince and Princess of Wales to their security team, and it really made for a really top couple of days.
But lovely to know as well about their early days spent there, having hopefully just a weekend with mates where they could let their hair down, drink a bit of cider.
Right? Different lives.
And lovely that they went back there as well to celebrate on this anniversary, and it's such a gorgeous part of the world. I've been there when I was a little girl and I loved it.
It really is gorgeous.
It's just beautiful.
And they rented a cottage again to spend their anniversary night.
Self-catered
cottage.
They felt that this is something.
I was told diplomatically that they both did the cooking for their anniversary.
She showed off her barbecue skills, though, didn't she?
She
Barbecuing
did.
some haggis.
Yep. She was a bit better than Charles, you know, poking a sausage with the tongs in Australia or wherever it was last time. I mean, listen, it has been a very busy period for both Kate and William recently, but what was very interesting this week is that they've been at Balmoral.
That sort of raised some eyebrows. People were saying, well, why are they there? Those I've spoken to say it was just a weekend away, and you know, ordinarily when they are in Windsor, it is usual for at least one night a week for all of them, that's the Waleses and the King and the Queen, to be there for at least one night. So yeah, interesting that they were there.
This struck me as a summit, surely. I mean, listen, I don't think we haven't escaped this, but if the future King and Queen are getting around the table with the current King and Queen, there's no children around, and as you say, Balmoral is that sanctuary. There's lots of people that come and go throughout the summer, but this was a very, very different meeting.
I agree with you. It does strike me that if the Prince and Princess of Wales travelled there, leaving the children back in Berkshire, probably with Granny and Grandpa Middleton, that they were there to have conversations. We know, obviously, that the King and Queen are heading off to Australia and Samoa for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting next month. And there is an awful lot to talk about after the events of the last 9 months. They weren't trying to hide it, clearly, because they wouldn't have gone to church had they not wanted to be seen there. But yes, I think there have been some serious roundtable discussions going on between the King and his heir.
Lots more still to come on the Royal Beat collection, but first, find out what else you could watch on True Royalty TV. Discover the parallels between Prince Harry's mother and wife in Diana and Meghan, Royal History Repeating. Find out how the royal family has evolved in the last century and how it will continue to change in the future of the monarchy. Relive the Wales's love story and happy ever after in Kate, the Making of a Princess. You can get this and more only on True Royalty, the home of Royal TV.
This week marked the start of Holyrood Week, where the monarch would traditionally spend a week based at the Palace of Holyrood House in Scotland. However, this year it's been condensed down to 2 days because of the general election. So, Russ, what have we missed out of this week of actually, activities that actually these guys really look forward to, don't they?
Yeah, very much so. And I think you see the King and the Queen have been out and about this week, and King's been rather enjoying himself. It's good to see, because obviously it's been quite a tumultuous time for him and the rest of the family because of his cancer diagnosis. But he looked in fine form, and I think that Holyrood Week, or Royal Week as it's known, is to celebrate the great and the good, all sort of the charities, all the organisations that they have an affiliation with. And yeah, it has been condensed down.
It's impacting pretty much everything. It's a really sensitive time, isn't it, Elsa?
Absolutely.
But one you'll know that this week in particular was one that was particularly significant and important in the Queen's diary, wasn't it?
Absolutely, and she used to pack a lot in, and it was one of those events that she always looked forward to on an annual basis, whether it be a garden party or the Thistle service.
Okay, what is the Thistle service?
Oh, it's the Order of the Thistle, which is the most senior chivalry order in Scotland. And the King is allowed to, it's his personal gift who joins the club as such, so he gets to decide who becomes a member of the Order of the Thistle. So William joined in 2012, which was the late Queen's Diamond Jubilee year, and Elsa remember that. And then we've had the Duke of Edinburgh and the Queen joining the Order this week. So they were officially kind of installed in that service at St Giles Cathedral.
And we also saw Camilla host her own reception. What was this for? Do we know?
Well, this was a big, sort of centering on her love of literacy, and we had sort of fantastic writers from Edinburgh. Sir Ian Rankin was speaking, very, very fondly of the Queen, saying that she's a fantastic ambassador for people of all ages, especially children, to get into reading.
He was full of praise as well, wasn't he, Ian Rankin? Because he was sort of saying it expands all ages, but also he was essentially saying the Queen's not a snob about what you read as well.
Absolutely, it's
so
classless.
Whether it's kind of comic books or she doesn't, give a fig what you're reading. She just wants kids, anyone of any age, to pick up a book and enjoy it.
It's also the 900th anniversary of the city of Edinburgh, so that's obviously got to be a cause for celebration. How will they be marking that?
Well, that was a great moment, wasn't there, this week when they went to the service at Edinburgh Castle and they were shown sort of local fare, sort of food and drink from local kind of producers, let's say, and they tried some whiskey. And Camilla said, "Oh, that hits the spot."
True to form.
Enjoyed it, and I think that they really threw themselves into it. But those light moments, I think, really show how they really do love Scotland and they really love everything about it.
Are they allowed any time off this summer?
Well, I imagine they will be. I mean, there's been an awful lot happening this year, isn't there? So they need a bit of downtime, perhaps.
And also, of course, the King is still having treatment for cancer,
sure,
so he needs a bit of downtime. But I was looking at that, so I've stayed at Balmoral Castle many times, and sort of to the left here is Queen Victoria's old schoolhouse, where her children used to be schooled, and they've still got the desks and tables and chairs in the loft where her children were homeschooled. It's absolutely amazing.
What is family life like at Balmoral? What's the mood?
It's very relaxed, even the way people dress. So the private secretary will wear a tweed jacket and a shirt and tie rather than a formal suit. People will wear kilts. It's much more informal. I remember sort of sitting in the office working on a document, and I heard this tap on the window, and it was the Queen knocking with her corgis on her way for a walk, and I just thought, it was just extraordinary. I couldn't even have time to curtsy or anything. It just like, so I mean, it is very, very informal, much less formal. But there's still the head of state work to go. So the Queen would still have done a red box every day. She still has her audiences with the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister comes for the weekend. She'll see other heads of state. So it's still, the mechanism of the Constitution still go on.
But with slightly lower shoulders,
Absolutely.
Shoulders drop.
Someone said to me, as soon as the Queen, she puts her crown metaphorically on the gate as she drives through.